Alright, this next movie is really bad. It's bad. It's contender for worst movie of the year. Probably, like, it's neck and neck with that movie. Was it like, Don't Let Me Die or whatever? And in the first, like, 10 minutes, the dude let the girl die. This movie is called Those Who Walk Away. I don't know why it's called that. So the movie has, like, the gimmick of being, like, a one continuous shot thing. Which, like, I feel like this movie probably would have been better if there were edits in there. Like, obvious, known cuts between shots and stuff. Just because, like, the single thing just, it doesn't work. This isn't Birdman. This isn't 1917. This is not Russian Ark. Like, this, oh, man. Because, like, there was, like, 10 minutes of just dialogue, and it's like, yeah, that's fine, you don't need to go straight to, like, the action, but it wasn't, like, helping, like, what's his name? This dude, Boo Boo, that's his name, grown-ass adult with the name Boo Boo. I remember him from when I saw the Twilight movies. I was like, this child's name is Boo Boo, and I'm like, now it's like, this adult's name is Boo Boo, and so he goes on, like, some kind of, let's say, Tinder date, because, yeah, he goes on some kind of Tinder date with some girl, and then they're just walking and talking, and it's just, like, it's literally watching two people make small talk for the first 20 minutes of this movie. Oh, yeah, I'm really, like, self-destructive on that. Oh, yeah, they walk over to, like, the movie theater, and it was like, oh, we're gonna have a showing of The Evil Dead. Oh, yes, movie. Name a better movie in your shitty movie. That's always great. I mean, this movie is so indie, they didn't have the rights to play the good movie within the bad movie like they normally do. Burp. Still not happening. Alright. And so, it, like, the girl colleague at the movie theater, apparently she works in the movie theater, and the colleague was being, like, really gross. Like, he, like, grabbed onto her, and I was like, what what is going on, Anyway, so, I don't know, man. This movie's not good. So, like, the whole one-shot thing, the fact that I feel like this movie, like, before he meets the girl, so, like, the first 10 minutes or something, like, the dialogue was very much like this, like, not really, like, dancing it's on ADR, but, like, it wasn't ADR, but it was just kind of recorded with, like, the microphone, kind of just covered up, like, I've done that with, like, my GoPro or whatever, with, like, my shirt or something's in a way, so, like, the dialogue is just slightly muffled, like, that's what it looks like, or sounds like. It's like, oh, God, man, and just, and, Boo Boo's not that great of an actor. Again, the only other thing I've seen of it was Twilight, so, like, Twilight's not, like, the best, like, test to anyone's acting ability, i.e. Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, because they've both done, like, way better things since then, and even before then, too. But, oh, man, also his voice kept throwing me off, because I kept thinking, I don't know, just, like, when you look at someone, you kind of guess their voice, and I kept guessing his voice was, like, probably where the tone of my voice is, but his voice was, like, up here most of the time. Like, he's up here. How old, like, let me look this up. How old is this little boy? Like, since he was little, like, during Twilight, and he's just slightly grown. Oh, God, I want to see pictures of him shirtless. He's 28. Why? His voice is like this. He's like, oh, God, okay, just seeing a picture of him shirtless, it's like Taylor Lautner shirtless. It's like, I shouldn't be seeing this. He was also in Descent. He was in a Disney thing? Well, oh, he was a Disney kid. Oh, God, he was in a lot of B movies. I'm scrolling through. Well, good for him, I guess, that he's gotten. So his Pride and Joy is the Twilight series. It's like the thing that everyone's, like, seen him in. Everyone. Anyway, so yeah, his voice is like this the entire time, just like up here, and it just was very weird. So then the movie decides to cheat a little and just go into time elapse. Whatchamacallit, I don't even think it was time elapse. They just sped up the film, you know what I mean? And they go to like the girl's house, and of course the house is in the middle of nowhere. We have a running theme with the movies today. And then like the house looks like it's like she doesn't say it's her house. She's like, let's go to this haunted house. And it's like, okay. You go to this haunted house in the middle of nowhere. I don't know, man. Like haunted houses don't scare me. But, like, if you bring me to a haunted house in the middle of nowhere, I'm thinking some hostile shit's gonna happen. I'm thinking just some, like, no, I'm putting the X over my crotch stuff is happening, you know what? You know, like, certain trafficking is gonna happen. Anyway, so, they go in the house. It's, like, you know, it's just not taken care of kind of stuff. It's like a home in Silent Hill kind of shit. And then they go into like a room, and then the guy's like, oh, this kind of looks like my house when I was young, like my room when I was younger, just not with all the, you know, wrestling posters. It's like, that's conversation, that's dialogue in the movie. Oh god, before that, sorry, before we head into the car, oh my god, before we got into the, oh my god, oh yeah, I'm from the Midwest all of a sudden, oh Jesus Christ. Anyway, so back it up, bitches. So, they're still on the street. They left the movie theater. They go by a bar. Some random old lady opens up a box, and there's, like, roaches in it. And all of a sudden, the movie goes into the thing, and I'm like, ah, I already have tinnitus. Thank you. You know? And then fucking, you know, he's, like, kind of disoriented. The girl's like, you okay? Like, come on. And they're like, drink. And he's like, okay. Drink. And then it was like, anyway. So, like I said, they drive, you know, fast forward the film, you know, that stuff. They get to the place. The girl pulls out a gun from, like, her glove box or wherever, and is like hands it to him. It's like, point it at me. And so then he, like, points it at her, like, ugh. And then she's like, no, you know, like, shoot me. And then he's like, no, I don't want to. Because it's like, oh, she's a cute girl you met on Tinder or wherever the fuck. Like, you know, talk about red flags. You know what I'm saying? Like, the moment this girl is like, let's drive afar to a haunted house. Also, here's a pew-pew, and I want you to pew-pew me in the car. You're like, man, some dudes are just like, oh, man, I get pussy, like, I'm not gonna shoot her, I'm not into necrophilia, you know? And so fucking, you know, whatchamacallit, he doesn't shoot her, and then, so they have the gun up, they go in the house, that's when it's all like, oh, this house looks kind of like shitty, oh, it reminds me of blah, blah, and then the girl is like, oh, it's like rot creep or something, there's like, there's this thing in the haunted house. Like, at first it comes off like, urban legend creepypasta kind of thing, you know? And then there's, like, drawings of rot creep around, like, that room. And then she's like, I have something to tell you. This is actually my childhood home. What? Why are you taking me to your broken-ass, like, dilapidated childhood home? Like, and, well, the reason why is that apparently there is a real thing called rot creep or sandwich, and they bring people to the house to feed it, you know, like you do, and so, like, what was it, like, the brother shows up, and it's like, yeah, if you get too close to it, he lifts up his shirt, and there's just, like, a really poorly, I can't tell if that was, like, bad makeup or just shitty CGI on the dude's stomach, like a handprint on the dude's stomach. He's like, ugh, and he's like, ugh, you know, that kind of stuff. And it's like, all right, dude, you want to get that checked out? It looks just a little bit infected, just a scotch of infection going on there. And so then they're like, well, now you're the new victim kind of thing. And the brother's like, haha, you only cared about a good pair of tits. And it's like, oh, bro, that's your sister, you're like, oh, a good pair of tits. Ugh, 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 ugh. Why do they keep putting incest in movies? Ugh. But, oh god, actually got me. So, you know, the rest of the movie is Boo Boo trying to, like, escape this house. He immediately is like, oh, I'm not gonna be stuck in this house. Shoots him with a gun. And she's like, it's blanks. So that way you feel like you're... What was it like? You feel like you're safe, but you're not, and it's like, okay. But also, funny enough, so it established that there's blanks in the gun. And at one point, he's trying to, like, escape the house, and he shoots the freaking, doorknob, and then it works. And I'm like, wait a second, you just told me that there's blanks in the gun, and you shot the doorknob, and you were able to open the door. Like, what? Huh? Movie? If this is one take, how'd you fuck that up? How'd you forget? You know? Anyway, not like the rest of the movie made any fucking sense. You know, so, excuse me, thinking about the movie's making me tired for no reason. So, for fuck's sakes. So, there's like a little boy that's there, because that little boy was like one of the victims to be fed to the thing. Like, who cares? They, like, so, the little boy gets consumed by the stuff. It really doesn't matter. So Boo Boo gets out of the house, and I think I, like, blanked out, or just my brain just said no. Anyway, somehow the brother and sister get back into the house and, like, switch places with Boo Boo, and then they're like, no, I want to get out of the house. And Boo Boo, oh yeah, because there's one part where he's not even leaving the house yet. He's just, like, sitting, like, and there's, like, a booze cart, and it's in front of a TV that's like, Dad, we were at the park today. Like, one of those, like, very, like, Leave It to Beaver kind of things playing, on the TV, and he's just laughing. Anyway, he had booze in his hand, this is what I'm getting for. He throws it at the door, then he lights it, and then the boy and girl, like, I mean, the fire just lit. I don't think it's gone through the door yet, but they're already screaming as they're being burned alive. That's fine. Logic, whatever. And so they're like, all that shit. Anyway, then for, like, the final 10 minutes of the movie is just watching the house burn down. Like, that's all it is. That's all it fucking is. It's just, like, the guy, like, Boo Boo's here. I'm where, like, obviously where the house is. And then fucking, it's just on fire. It's just, like, I'm looking at, like, the task bar thing, and I'm like, there's, like, this much of the movie left. And I was like, oh, they just, like, extended this just to make it, like, a full-length feature. I'm not saying this movie would have been better if it was, like, a 45-minute short or 20-minute short, but it would have just been more tolerable if it was at, like, a reasonable length and not a full length. Because there's a lot of things that, you know, all that, like, extra dialogue, you know, the whole wonder thing, you know, it didn't need to be, you know what I'm saying, like, because then the audience is bored. Like I said, 20 minutes before anything remotely interesting happens, you know, like, in the first 5 minutes, they try to make it interesting, because, like, Boo Boo's on a phone call with his friend, and then he's walking away, and his friend is, like, also there with the phone, as if his friend is there with him, but he's not. Like, they were trying to do that kind of, like, I don't know, I guess you would call it trickery or whatever shit, but, I don't know, man, just, it's not for me. And yeah, so the movie just, like, ends with just, like, the house, you know, on fire, and then someone comes into frame. Like, just some random person comes in frame. I can't tell what the fuck it is in frame. I don't know if that's, like, his mom that he was on the phone with. Plus, he has a flip phone. Like, or no, that's the girl's flip phone. I don't remember. He had a regular phone because he put in, like, an AirPod, and then the girl had a flip phone. Anyway, someone had a fucking flip phone, and what fucking year is this, you know? Anyway, so yeah, he's here, Boo Boo's here, I'm where the house is, and then someone comes in to camera view. I can't tell what the fuck it is. Maybe it's his friend from the phone call earlier? I don't know, it's just, like, you could kind of see a face, it's kind of silhouetted, and then the movie ends with, cut. Are you kidding me? Why did you leave that in? why did you leave the cut in there? Why did you leave that in? Like, what was the point of that? Like, what was the point of that? To be like, guys, this is a movie. Nah, real, son? I didn't know this was a fucking movie. I didn't know this was a whole movie. I thought I was watching a documentary this whole time because it was the one shot, and it was like, you know, I totally was convinced that this was happening right now. This is a live stream. Oh my god, someone with an IRL backpack was going around. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Why'd you leave the cut? It's like, yeah, I do these reviews and you always see me do this when I turn on and off the camera and stuff, but it's a review inside my fucking room in my damn house. I'm not doing a full-length movie and then, like, suddenly you see me there with the clapper, or, like, I'm like, oop, boop, and it's like, okay, it's recording. Now do the scene. Like, why did you leave the cut in there? Like, what was the point of that? Like, you needed something to end the movie? Just hit it with black and then hit the credits. Like, I think that's what got me even more annoyed was that. Like, everything else was like, alright, Oh man, also the movie loved to do this. It was like, you know? The movie was just like, something spooky, you know? It's like, okay, flashing lights. I mean, cool, if you have some form of epilepsy, it sucks to be you, but also, like, it's so stupid. And of course, because it's a bad movie, I'm like, I gotta watch it, you know? I gotta see what this is. And it was hard for me to, like, initially, I couldn't find anyone that was renting, and then I finally, like, I found, you know, like, the usual places were renting it. But for a while, I was like, why can't I find this? Why can't, you know? But anyway, this is horrible. This is bad. This is, like, contender for worst of the year. There's no way. There's no way. I'm worried because it's like, what? It's mid-July right now. I'm just worried what the rest of the year is gonna give me. This movie came out, I think, earlier in the year, like February or something. You know, I'm just worried, like, the late August, like, you know, the late summer releases, and then, oh god, what they're gonna do near, like, Halloween season. And then, like, the Christmas/Oscar bait season, and I'm like, what am I gonna have to watch, you know? I love how you know, I haven't watched, I've taken a while to see the popular stuff, because I haven't even seen, like, Thor, Love and Thunder yet, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this piece of shit. Oh god, anyway, that was Those Who Walk Away. Is this about, so that's him? Like, he's the one who walks away from the house to kill, and I don't, like, there's not enough lore, you know? Because I feel like, God, like, when they're having the small talk, they could have hinted more at, like, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? They could have hinted more. It could have been like, oh, what are you into? And she's like, I kind of like spooky stuff. Like, maybe they did talk about it. I just stopped listening. Because that just stopped up. Like, that's, Anyway, that's it. That's it. This movie sucked.